Welcome back to the York Woods. My name is Dan York. Today I'm taking this and turning it into this. I can't make it to Hope. I really wanted to. Cancer has been through my family as well. I know Ken and Danny out there at York Firewood, no relation, put on a heck of a show. I've seen videos of it in the past, talked to guys about it. It's a fantastic organization. It's a fantastic way that the Woodhound community has came together and really supported a good cause. Wish there was more of that around. I know I've been to Hoosier, been to a couple different places where it's a lot of charity events and we get a lot of guys getting together and putting together a show. But this is one that does hit near and dear to my heart. As we speak right now, my dad is laying in a hospital bed. So I'm taking up one of my gorgeous Wednesdays to make this. Hope you enjoy the show. Hopefully whoever wins this knows that it was specifically made for this Hope event 2025. Today is August 27th, and hopefully I can get this, or ideally I'd like to get this sent out to Jack or somebody that can get it in time for the raffle. If you do win this at the raffle and you do have a story you want to share, put in the comments below and I will pin that comment. If you do have any other comments below or any other comments to share, please put them below too. This is a great event, great organization, and I'm just happy to be a part of it, that I can help out in what little bit I can. So for the most part, these are somewhat simple to make. Went out and got a set of stencils that fit a treated 4x4 post and kind of lay them out here. What's going to happen is I'm going to trace all these out and I'm going to engrave them in, paint them, stain them, do something with it, probably do a little burn with it. I'm going to do something different on all four sides. And yeah, I think this ribbon would look better up top. Keep in mind that this stuff doesn't have to be absolutely perfect either, just because as you're carving these out, they're going to move and you're going to slip a little bit. So you can make up for errors later. There we go. There is one side. So there we go. There's one side of the four. I'm going to put 4 different patterns on each of the 4 sides. Show you that here in a second. Okay, so if you've ever bought stencils before, you know you don't get a whole duplicate set of everything. So I think, let's see how I want to do this, try to avoid this knot. I want to do an angle. And this is where you can have fun and play around with. This is just going to be a placeholder. You can have fun with different shapes because it doesn't have to be square. I kind of like that, actually. Yeah, I like that. Two down. So the line you see me putting here is just to make sure the top stays, not obvious, but the top stays symmetrical all the way around the top of the post. So I'm going to take, I don't have a stencil for an axe, so I'm going to try to freehand one here. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I think for now it looks just as much like an axe as anything else would. It's look better like this. Side number 4. I think that's the 4 I'm going to put on there. Let's just say about right there. So you've seen the 4 sides now. I've got American flag. I'm going to put 2 red lines down the side, white in the middle, or maybe leave it natural. What community brought everything together is firewood, chainsaws. A lot of guys use an axe. The year is 2025, and the reason for this is for hope. So can't forget the eyes and ears. Routers are pretty loud. I'm going to set my depth a little shallower than what I have it here. Hopefully that picks that up. So I'm going to add a little color to this. This is all going to get one final coat of sanding whenever it's all said and done, so the marker lines will come out. But paint it now so it dries as I'm doing the other sides. Just a piece of dust in there that didn't come out. And a couple of chips. And to help it dry, since this is still a little tacky, we'll flip it over 180 degrees and work on this side. So for some of this fine detail, I may not get quite as detailed. I could always grab out my Dremel tool and carve in and get a little more detail, but I think I'm going to leave it pretty bland, or pretty cartoonish, I guess is a way to say it. Let's start with the axe. Yeah, I think that turned out awesome. I think once I paint this and sand it, it should look okay. That one definitely turned out good for taking a few artistic license. Loving the chainsaw and loving the axe. All right, let's find some paint. All right, lighter's at the ready. So this, and this, all four will be two-toned. The red and the orange will be a part of that one. The red and orange will be a part of that fire. Add a little brown at the bottom for the firewood. And then I'm gonna do the chainsaw orange with either a gray or a black handle or bar. And the axe is gonna be a gray with potentially a brown handle. So let's see if we can do this in a short period of time so I can light it and go from there. Okay, two sides done. And for a final touch, we're going to put a light on top of it. And just as an FYI for whoever gets this, it does screw on like that. The top also comes out. So there's a couple different lights. There's a yellow light, which is soft light. There's a white light, which is nice and crisp, and it will be shipped in the off position. So make sure whenever you get it, the batteries aren't dead. You do shift it to one of those two types of lights. All right, after that was all said and done, I did decide to torch this a little bit. I think I'm going to go a little bit more here on it, just to help the letters stand out some more. Yeah, that definitely makes that pop. And then another thing I do to every one of my carvings that I've ever done is I put a brand on it. I don't know if you can see that very well. So I've got a brass brand here. We're going to heat this up and see if I can brand this. So just a smidge of water down. It's a good brand. And then one final thing I do is I actually sign my work. So this pen is what's called a scorch pen, scorch marker. So you can sign your name, you can write hand-free or handwrite anything you want, and then you just apply a little bit of heat and it burns the wood with your signature on it. Goes on purple. And I'll soften this up with a sanding disc here in just a second. All right, we are ready for finish. I'm using a spar urethane. Really make this pop. All right, so we're gonna let this set for a little bit. It'll tack up. I'll run some, I use for a sandpaper, I actually use paper bags, or a piece of cardboard. Works great to smooth it out. We'll give it one last coat with this, and we'll call it a day.
So at the end of the day, have hope and pay it forward. Thanks for watching.